leaving Oracabessa Bay, and we already have the sail up to avoid the fishing floats, which are right over there, some up, heading to Ocho Rios.
Nice and slowly.
10 miles.
From our tiny bay in Oracabessa, we took the 10-mile leg west again, this time with a nice following wind where we just had the genoa up, and came into Ocho Rios. Ocho Rios Bay has a big cruise liner terminal. We sneaked in behind the cruise liner and managed to anchor right next to the beach with lots of hotels in front of us.
There is Hampshire. They arrived earlier in the morning. They've been following us.
I think they could be pirates. What do you think?
We are setting a trend, that's what I think.
On board here they might want.
I hope they want me.
I mean, I could just hand you over.
What will you ask in return?
A quick look around their boat.
Am I really that cheap?
Okay, a long look around their boat.
I can live with that. Some very good looking properties there on the cliffs. There he goes, busy on the deck. I think he heard me.
We're having a very rolly sail down the Jamaican coast. We've just got the genoa up. It's blowing like 25 knots and it's pulling us at like 7.5. Which is quite nice. Flappy top of the genoa is getting a bit annoying. I really might like to have a new genoa sometime. That'll be a bit of a negotiation with one. Oh, look at the size of these waves. If we had the main up, we'd probably be surfing down them. Jamaican coast is really quite pretty. Very built up, very green, lots of development here. We are approaching Ocho Rios, and here, this hotel, which is just appearing, is the Shore Park Hotel, and my parents spent a very happy holiday in 1967. Wonder if they're looking down on us.
Here it's a fairly built-up coastline, hotel after hotel. Some look very interesting, some not so much. Hopefully we can explore part of them by car, if we can get in. Quite cloudy and stormy ahead of us. The swell keeps rolling in. An hour and a half later we are in Ocho Rios, behind the reef. And to get into the anchorage, we have to pass very close to the bow of this enormous cruise liner. Well, I guess we are not that close. And here is the bay. It's quite nice. I'm not sure where we beached the dinghy, but Captain will sort it out. on shore again, and I think it couldn't be safer.
In between two police boats.
Let's explore this place.
It's the police.
Diamonds International and others as such. Guess where we are?
Let me think. Near a cruise liner dock? Perhaps?
Yes.
Oh, I thought so.
Let's buy a Harley Davidson.
Oh yeah, and take it back on the cruise liner. Brilliant idea.
Souvenir shops, definitely in the touristy area. Yet more markets. And this is as close as we could get to the beach. Hard as we tried. Official opening times for the beach 8:30 to 4:30 p.m. How crazy is that?
It's nuts. I mean, you can't get to the beach in town. The other side of the beach we find a little castle looking resort. Very neat and tidy, but in need of TLC. It was probably beautiful in 1931.
You're probably right. Joke aside, it is a very interesting design. Feels like we are in Morocco or somewhere like that. And the view from upstairs in the restaurant. This concludes our visit in the only resort we can get access to.
From our anchorage in Ocho Rios, our first road trip was a short distance west to Dunn's River Falls. We managed to get there before the tourist buses, and it turned out to be the highlight of Jamaica for us.
Road trip again. This time we are on a mission. Rachel and Trevor, Glen's parents, had a vacation in Jamaica in 1967, and we are retracing their steps on the island, visiting all the places they visited. And on this particular occasion we have a passenger with us, Rachel, Glen's mom. She has been with us on Cloudy Bay ever since we've moved on board. So we are going to sprinkle her ash in all the places she loved during her vacation here. We read here Ocho Rios was just a village in the early 60s. So in 67 there wasn't much development around.
Nice gardens.
Very nice. This is the Tranquility Garden. Not so tranquil with the music in the background, but much quieter than the pools.
Beautifully done.
It's very nicely done, yes.
Especially with no tourists around. Tranquility Gardens. See why they call it that? It's very pretty. How lush this is. And she'd love this garden. So we're going to put a bit over these flowers. I hope that she enjoys it. Or at least that part of her enjoys it.
Luckily there's no cruise liner today, so at least it's not mobbed. This is the most spectacular waterfall we have seen today. Breathtaking.
Incredible, huh? Incredible. What a beautiful sight.
Glen is getting himself a massage. Several levels up, and as the time passes it's starting to get mobbed.
Are you enjoying your little rest? We made it just in time before the crowds.
Perfect timing.
It's just so lovely and cool here, isn't it? That noise of the rippling. It's even better than Cloudy's bow wave. Well, maybe not. And that's up into the Tranquility Gardens. Nice place, huh?
Here is the beach, which they are enhancing at the moment.
Mass tourism.
Oh Jesus, look at that. And here at the bottom, the waterfall goes straight into the sea.
After the Dunn's River falls, we travel back east through the town, out the other side to the Shore Park Hotel. I was very keen to see the hotel that my parents had stayed in 1967, some 53 years ago.
Next stop, Shore Park Hotel, where they stayed.
This is it. This is where they came 50 years ago. 1967. Apparently it's from the 1930s, this building.
The lobby area.
You can really feel the age of this room. Old furniture and floors.
And the view from the lobby terrace. They stayed in one of these rooms on the ground floor.
Yep, they had one of these ground floor rooms. They had their breakfast sitting out here with the fruit.
This is a part of the beach. We have a new tour guide. A little garden here. The Shore Park yard, we are told.
Sometimes. It's very good.
How far up there can you rough?
About hour hop.
1 hour up.
Yeah. And $50 for
Another special place for Rachel.
We sit here in this garden, so I'm going to sprinkle a little bit here. Yeah, very nice. She'd like that.
Looking at the old pictures, we recognize the tree. A nice little terrace here.
This is the bay where he sailed his sunfish. And this was probably the rooms they were in, I believe. Not changed too much, really. 72 years old, the hotel now. It would have been like 15 years old when they came.
We are a bit emotional today, understandably so. This is the disco area.
I think I have a deja vu that they were doing limbo dancing here. You know where they go underneath the pole? Just here. I don't know. Let's have a look at their cine films.
Having some drinks where Rachel and Trevor probably had some drinks many years ago, calming our emotions.
Oh, my emotions.
Mine too.
You're emotional too?
Well, I had Rachel with me in the galley all this year on cloudy beach.
She gave you company. No wonder you
we
can cook so
bonded.
well. Didn't know that.
We're bonded.
From Shore Park Hotel, another place that was recorded in my mum's diaries was the road going south from Ocho Rios that climbed through the deep gorge locally known as Fern Gully. It was quite a nice experience to drive in the bottom of the gorge lined with lush tropical trees and ferns. After we'd been up and down it once or twice, we headed off towards Shore Park Gardens, but unfortunately that was closed. But we did find a nice restaurant with a beautiful view down over Ocho Rios Bay where we had some dinner. Fern Gully, keep clean. This is it. This is it, we're here. So this is a gorge that my mum and dad drove down called Fern Gully. It's literally a gorge with ferns down both sides of it. Very pretty. It's almost dark in here, and yet it's the middle of the afternoon. Must have been amazing when it was a tiny little road, which it probably was then.
Quite interesting. Can you see all the way up?
Yeah, look at the huge trees. Thank you, Mum, for guiding us here through your diary. Wow, it really is quite something. Look at the roots for the trees. We literally are in the bottom of a gorge with caves, cliffs, ferns. I think we're coming out the top, or maybe not.
Such a lovely road. It's like never ending. I'm so glad we found it. Driving towards Hallberg Gardens, we've spotted this restaurant with a wonderful view over the town and the bay. So we decided to stop for dinner. Oh, look at the spiders. Yuck. Our starter has arrived. I'd better join in.
Plantain, you better join before it goes. I don't know who'll eat it, but I'll try to protect it for you.
Our main dish is on also.
This must be a Jamaican dish. Curried mutton. Or rather, curried mutton bone with a bit of meat.
I'm happy with my choice.
A lot of bone. You like yours?
Grilled
Swap.
chicken. You cannot go wrong with grilled chicken. At the end of the day, we explore the outside of the bay by dinghy. Very interesting terrace here. A different type of very interesting terrace here. as Glen calls it. Looks like an Indian construction.
I wouldn't be on that terrace.
No offense to any Indians, but you know what we mean.
It's just twisted.
There's not a single
That is unbelievable.
straight line there. We've seen plenty of those.
That's the funniest thing I've ever seen.
A local hangout place and the monster tripper boats, which were earlier on at the waterfall. We came to a dead end, not enough water.
Very 1960s development here too. Everywhere, very old.
At least they're still running. Some cute little houses there and kids playing on the beach. The display of resorts in front of our boat. Oh, mosquitoes are nibbling us. Let's make a run.
The following day we travelled west along the coast road to Green Grotto Caves, locally known as Runaway Caves because slaves hid there after escaping their masters. It was an extensive network, and along with our guide we had the whole place to ourselves.
Next morning, welcome to the Green Grotto Caves before the crowds kick in.
Keep up, keep up. On your head. Oh! Careful. It's quite extensive.
It is.
Oh, feet.
Yes. Oh, banyan.
Going into the next cave, the Green Grotto Cave.
We went down Fern Gully,
Ah.
just up for Ocho Rios.
Yeah, the
and
Ocho,
we saw
right.
these trees just hanging onto the rocks. They're just amazing, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
They literally look like they're gripping onto the rock.
The water is a mixture of salt water and fresh water.
Oh, it is?
Yes, known as brackish water.
We climbed some steps after seeing a boa constrictor snake skin. Yeah, so we are panting, puffing. Whew. It wasn't scary. Next attraction, the wishing well. We need coins in here for many wishes.
You made your wish? I made mine. That was a plop that gives me a wish. Where'd you hid?
This is the bending part
Back into the Runaway Cave, are we?
into the Runaway Cave. So this rock looks like the head of a lion. We call it Simba. So Hakuna Matata. What a wonderful phrase. Here we have a limbo drum. It's actually a flow stone. It was used by the runaway slaves as a form of communication. Limbo, 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 limbo. Hey, limbo, limbo, limbo. Hey, limbo, limbo, limbo. Hey.
I'll go through here. If I can fit through, you'll be able to fit through, apart from your hips, maybe.
Perfect fit.
Oh! Come on, you can do it.
So we have another flow stone here. We call this one the talking drum. One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel alright.
Cool, you got a lovely voice.
Thank you.
Wonderful, thank you. Back in the nightclub. This used to be a disco in the 90s.
From the caves we went further west to Discovery Bay, which also is the site of a huge bauxite mine, Jamaica being famous for exporting aluminium ore. On our return, my mum and dad had also mentioned St Anne's Bay, but we found neither the bay nor the town particularly inspiring.
A short drive further west, we are in Discovery Bay. In those enclosures, sadly, they keep dolphins. We've seen quite a few of them next to hotels. Very sad.
Should we go let them out?
Yeah, I wish we could. And the classic scene, speakers.
Bar tables?
In St. Anne's Town now. St. Anne's Bay was also mentioned in Rachel's diary, and since we couldn't find a bay that looked like any sort of sandy spot, we assume she might have meant St. Anne Town. Hence, we are having a wonder.
It's certainly not a particularly nice place.
After the excursion today, we end our evening at the Almond Tree Lounge. They really do have a very nice tree here on the terrace overlooking the sea. Nobody around, sadly. It's a nicely terraced hotel here. Probably must have been very nice in its days. On this other side there is another terrace with another tree. Down here is the other level with the bar.
Last night we came on the dinghy past here, saw the Almond Tree Lounge, so we thought we'd check it out for a beer. Here we are. Greatest of atmosphere.
It's a nice place
Quite a nice view.
with a nice almond tree.
And yeah, it actually has an almond tree. Our last evening in Ocho Rios.